Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I'm Mama, and I'm back in the hospital right now for another round of chemo, but I wanted to give a quick update on what I have read in December while I am feeling up to sharing. The first book that I read was Mistletoe and Mr. Right. I think it was by Sarah something Thaler. I'll have the book up here. I forgot what her name is, but it's a Moose Springs novel, and I had originally checked it out from the library, and I ended up finishing listening to it as an audiobook. But it was really cute about this lady, Lana, and she's in the town of Moose Springs, Alaska, and it is a romance, and it's very I think, what do they call it? Like kisses only. There's not a lot of like graphic scenes to it, which I really liked, but it was just kind of a fun book. And it's the kind of the story as she goes up there, because she's rich, part of this family that has a lot of money, and she has bought basically the town of Moose Springs and is wanting to build condominiums, but the town does not like tourists, and so they don't really appreciate her being there. And then there's stuff that goes on, but I thought it was a cute book, well written for what it is. It was a fun storyline. She meets her love interest there in Alaska, and I don't want to spoil any of the main stuff, but it was just a really fun Christmas read for me. There is a moose involved, and it was just worth the read. It was lighthearted. It had good humor to it, all of that. So I really enjoyed that book. Then I just finished reading Bride by Ali Hazelwood. And I know that this book got some mixed reviews. I haven't read everything by Ali Hazelwood. I've only read a couple, maybe one other book by her. I don't remember off the top of my head, one or two other books. And this is definitely different, with the exception of there's still like women in STEM lines and everything, but I kind of went into this without any big expectations, but I really enjoyed it. You're following Misery Lark, and she's a vampire who she's put into like an arranged marriage basically with the alpha of a werewolf pack, Low Moreland, and her dad thinks she's doing it for the vampires, like for the good of like all the vampires, but she's actually doing it because a friend of hers has gone missing, and she thinks that the head of the vampire pack is somehow, of the werewolf pack is somehow involved. And then there's a lot of stuff. There is a romance aspect to the book, but then there's also this like political aspect between the humans and the vampires and the werewolves, and I really enjoyed it with how it was written. I gave it a 4 stars. There were definitely some parts of the writing that were maybe like a little sloppy, if that makes sense. And I didn't pull out any specific examples, but it wasn't enough that it really affected the storyline for me. It is definitely a bit more spicy than some of the books that I read. So if you don't like spice, there might be parts you want to skip over. But again, with the way it was written, it didn't feel out of place, and I really liked the connection between Misery and Low, and so you felt the buildup with them, so it didn't feel like it was just physical, like there was that emotional piece to it. So I really enjoyed it. So those are the only 2 things that I really read this month. But I will say that for the Mistletoe and Mr. Right book that I read, I enjoyed that one so much that I went back and I actually got the audio version of the first book in the Moose Springs, and I can't think of the title of that one right now off the top of my head. I'm still listening to it, but it's also in Moose Springs, Alaska, and again, it's the first one in the series, and so what I read first was the second one. But Lana, who's the main character in Mistletoe and Mr. Right, is in the first book, but she is like the side character, and it's about her good friend who has gone with her to Alaska for a visit. And so I'm enjoying that one as well. So I would recommend them. But I'll say more about the first one after I've actually finished it. But I'm enjoying it as well. So anyways, just like I said, just a quick update. I'd only read 2 books. Not still in the hospital. I was home and I'm back in the hospital for a round of chemo. And then I'll go home again. And then I have one more round at the beginning of February, which I'm hoping will be the last round. And after that, hopefully things will get a little bit back to normal. And I'm hoping that I'll be able to post more regularly and be able to read a little bit more. But, as you can imagine, having leukemia and all the chemo and the things that come with it, it's been a little rough. So I'm reading what I can, when I can, listening to what I can, and not posting as much as I would like to, but I'm trying to keep on enough to at least give a little update and share what I've read. So I hope you all have a wonderful new year, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.